Happy Thursday, everyone. Today, I want to talk about past lives and a past life meditation that has worked for me in the past to actually see different past lives. So, one, I'll say this. The first thing about past life work, and I'm doing this because based off of the video that I did, my live video that I did this week, someone asked me to talk about past lives and how to do past life work. They just got past life reading for themselves, but then they want to do the work as well. Like they want to see for themselves. They don't want to just depend on what someone else says. And I don't blame them. I feel like there's something a little weird about someone telling me, and I'm glad they brought it up because I just I had one past life reading before, and in that I was told I was from ancient Hawaii, and I did this amazing work. And to me, the person at the time, I really feel as if they were truthful and honest, but because didn't see it for myself initially, it was very hard to really even believe. It was kind of like whatever, but I bring this up because then all of a sudden there were things that started to come forth, things that she didn't mention at all or did not come up in the conversation. And it was connecting to the things that I was going through at the time. And the past life reading that she did was supposed to be something that would relate to what I was doing at the moment. And so I started to see that. I started to see that very deeply in not just the months that came, but really like years that came in the information that was conveyed. So I'm not saying past life readings aren't helpful or useful or that but you have to find someone that you feel knows their stuff and they're good to do that. But then I want to say that from there, and prior to that and after that, I started to do more past life work for myself. And prior to that, I was getting past life visions, but the work after it became more deliberate. So I was like, you know what? I can do this deliberately. It doesn't have to just happen through sleep. And so the first way I will say is that you can intend it through your dream work. Now, you guys know how much I love dream work and how I like to use my sleep to work. So you can say, I would like to see a past life, or I will see a past life. I choose to see a past life of mine. And then in your dream work, then you go to sleep, and then you should have a dream in which you are in a different time and space and there is a past life situation. From there, you wake up and then you write it down. So my first series of past lives that I was encountering came from doing just that, intending to see a past life, intending to know more about the relationships around me and situations, and then I would see the actual life, if you will. And what was really profound about that is that the timing was like very clear. The situations were clear. The people that would be in the dream, they were so different, but I knew who they were. So meaning like it might be a male in the dream, and I might be a male in the dream, and the person might be a female in the dream, and they, I know them as a male, but I knew for sure that was them. It was like without a doubt, and you start to see the relationship unfold and the timing and so on and so forth. So I was getting a lot of those. But then I also decided, well, I want to do the intentional work, right? So how did I do that? I used a method, and this is the meditation that I used. So I would get into a meditative state, and this is using the power of visualization, but a meditative state in the sense that you are not thinking about a whole bunch of other things, that everything is clear, that you are the observer. In that, I would see myself going through. So I would see a big door, a really big, for me, I see it now, this beautiful dark wood door. And as I walked up to that door, I knew that the moment I opened that door, I would walk into a past life. And it didn't matter what it was, I'd walk into that past life. So I would walk into the past life, and then from there, I would look around. I would look at key things. I would look for a date. I would look for a time. I would look for, like, what was I looking at? I would look down and see if I was dressed a particular way. What would the dressing look like? I would look to see what I looked like. If there was a mirror, I would look for a mirror. If there was a way to see my reflection, I would. And I would examine the time and examine that. Then I would, this is the meditation, then I would allow an experience to happen, meaning an important message that I need to know from that time. So that meant it was almost as if I saw that time being acted out. And then I would get the information from there. So that was one way I would explore the past life and get the tools that I wanted. So you can intend that when I open that door, these are the key things that I'm looking for, the lesson to learn from that life, the information I need to know from that life, and so on and so forth. So that was how I would do it. You go in there, you get the information, and then when you get out of that meditation, you walk out the door, you write down everything that you get. When you start to get in the flow of that, of doing a meditation like that at different times, testing to see the authenticity of it, meaning like every time you go through that door, is there something different that's happening? Can you now at this point say, well, I want to go back to this particular time, this particular life, and then can you explore more? That's what I would do. So I wouldn't just open the door and just see random stuff. I started to open the door each time and learn more, go deeper into there. So I would explore more, I'd walk deeper, I would go around the corner, see people that I can greet, that kind of thing, and gain more information over time instead of it just being one meditative time, because sometimes it's a hard time for us just to sit there and do that. We might lose concentration, we might lose that moment. So that was the way I would explore different past lives. So that's a meditative way. And then of course the dream work way. I will say that both ways are great. Both ways are great. And I also want you to pay attention to the method that the way that the information was given to you, if you had a past life reading, how it was given to you. Because you can also take the method of that particular worker, and you could pay attention. How was that given to me? So that means you realize that these are the clues they were looking for. These were the things they were looking for. So maybe they were looking for tools that you might have used, things that you use in your hands a lot. You could start saying, okay, this is what I want to see. What did I use in my hands a lot? Think about the information that they were giving you, and then think about what you want to intend as far as the information. If you enjoyed the reading, or you want to figure out how to learn more about how to get clues, because that's what you're looking for. You look into past lives to learn the lesson. You look into past lives to understand current relationships, and you look into past lives to understand any kind of old issues that you might be carrying with you. All right, I'm saying past lives for that term because it's familiar, but I truly kind of see them as concurrent lives, meaning within this time frame, there is no such thing as time, right? That we use time as a way to understand things, but there is no such thing as time in the larger scheme of things. And so that essentially you're almost just jumping into a time frame, jumping into this little point to see what helps comprise you of all of who you are. And I feel past lives are real. It's not about belief, because of the experiences I've had, the way that I've been able to have these experiences and then clearly see the time references being accurate. And then also, of course, reading that really good book about Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss, and getting into that book helped me really kind of like, wow, this is some good stuff. Which I don't feel is fabricated whatsoever. So that's a good book to read if you guys want to learn reading about it and kind of helping your intellectual mind make sense of what our intuitive mind already knows. Okay? And if there are any other points that I have there, I would say that's it on past lives. The next thing to think about, if you want to just expand your mind ever so slightly, is think about parallel lives, in the sense that if you had changed this thing or something was changed just here, what would be the outcome? Sometimes I find that I will have parallel lives as well, meaning I'll see a timeline where there's people that I know, and it doesn't feel like a past life whatsoever. It's like there's people that I know, but it's almost as if I had gone a different route. Like if I had gone this route, this is the result of that. You know how you think about, okay, you're at that crossroads, I can go here, I can go there. Well, there are times where I see the results of different pathways. I just had one probably the night before, different pathways, that this is, if I had gone this particular pathway, these are the people who would still be in my life, these are the experiences that I'd still be experiencing, so on and so forth. So very, very interesting as well. And so then it can help you see, well, how do you want to refine the pathway that you're on? and also help you make peace with the pathway that you're on. So there's different ways to do things, but since we're talking about past lives, why don't you use the techniques that I've given you and create some of your own and see what you get from it. Happy exploring and happy learning. Hallelujah. Holla magic. And as always, like, subscribe, and tell everybody about this, and use the information. It's all about doing the work. You get the answers. I'm helping you pave the way to your greater exploration, and maybe just giving you guys that extra boost to do the work that you have already done, but you feel lazy. All right, bye.